Okay, we are back.
All right.
Champ select for match number 2. After I keep saying the word dominant, but it just feels so apt. Victory by XYZ in that first game.
Let's just call it for what it was. They got clapped, and now they're getting rid of the Senna because they're like, F that, don't want to play against that again.
Yeah, I bet we could have taken some pretty heavy bets on that first ban there for Flawless Virtue, and they are going to be on the red side this time. Syndra coming through. We had the Syndra Rengar banned out as well last game, and clearly those are target bans, or most likely target bans.
Yeah, well, yeah, most like Jag plays a. Basically, it's almost a Rengar one trick in solo queue. So
there you go. Yeah, so that's definitely something to take away. Wukong as well, taken away.
And now they're just picking up the things they lost to. Even though
it's like
to mention is subbing in over in the top lane now for Team XYZ, so it will not be Lamppost over there. But
yes,
still they're like, I still don't want to deal with that. Says Unknown Legend and gets rid of it, and the Rek'Sai will be the last ban there. So notably the Lulu up for navcast if they want to play that, but you almost might want to use this opportunity to play something different, to be honest.
And we have a hover of the Fiddlesticks. I'm not expecting to see Fiddlesticks here, but I guess it's
something different.
Possible. This is something different. They are trying something, and as you said, Tigerclown.
Oh, okay,
oh, there's the Nocturne. There we go.
It was fake.
Nocturne's somewhat spicy. It's it's not a 10 on the spiciness scale, but I would say it's above 5.
And what's kind of nice at this level of play, Nocturne is kind of a flex pick.
Yes, indeed.
Kind of see it almost top, mid, jungle. I've seen someone try and support. That's not good. But but it can be kind of a flex pick in this situation. So still not completely sure where that's going to go. Volibear still picked up for Unknown Legend. Zac will be played now for moves like Jag, wanting to pick more of a tank this time, and maybe just someone who can gank from far away.
Yeah, they took the Volibear again, so that clearly is somewhat of a comfort pick there for Unknown Legend. And the Zac as well, getting real tanky here. And that's good into Nocturne. With the information they have so far, Nocturne definitely struggles in the late game, in particular against tanks. And Vayne coming in for LE.
It's an interesting pick. I usually like saving Vayne as a bit more of a counter, just because there's so many things that play well into Vayne.
I agree.
And Vayne Vayne like back in the day was like the ultimate scaling AD carry, blah blah blah. Get 3 items, get to level 13, you just blow up everybody. But less so nowadays, when like someone like say the Kai'Sa is kind of just a better version of Vayne.
Yes, that's exactly right.
I kind of joke that sometimes that like Kai'Sa is just a reworked Vayne, and like Vayne basically in a little bit, but in this case, they're going to pick it there, and we'll see if we get the kind of 1v1 Vayne versus Kai'Sa. And we've seen how LE can do well on a fairly easy-to-play champion in Senna. Likely play it in a hyper carry role, again, with that Lulu being brought up there for navcast. It could be nice in their hands.
Yeah, as we see the Leblanc coming in, I want to go back. As you said, they had to drop the Lulu ban, did Flawless Virtue, as they prioritized the Senna ban, and clearly they know navcast can do something on that Lulu, and Lulu Vayne, like you said, Vayne isn't the only hyper carry anymore. It's not like it used to be, but with Lulu, that is really volatile level 6 in the bot lane, and you can really expect some. Especially with some help from Nocturne, if he does choose to go in the jungle, or if he's roaming from mid, you can expect to see some big fights coming through once they do hit that level 6. So Vayne very scary on the bot lane, as good as LE and navcast. And now we're going to get to see LE's mechanics tested a little bit more, as of course Senna, not to diminish all your games on Senna, Johnny, but not as mechanically heavy as Vayne, I would say.
Again, I played it because I'm bad, and it was an easy champion to play, and the ultimate.
There you go.
So anyway,
full disclosure here.
Full disclosure. So the Mordekaiser are being banned away over here, and the Cassin being banned away again. Just not want to see Ken play that again. Mind you, that Cassiopeia still up and available. The one thing I want to note onto the Vayne too as well, what you are seeing from the other teams, you are seeing a pretty heavy team, and Vayne is one of the best Blade of the Ruin King users out of the AD carry position.
Yes, indeed.
So that, in that sense, is a smarter choice than Kai'Sa, who I said again is essentially just a better version of Vayne. But like, you can kind of melt down front lines a little bit more. You get that press the attack going on the third proc. You're really melting down tanks.
Yeah, that true damage coming through, very effective, especially against someone like Volibear, who doesn't have a gap closer, who just has to run at you. And Vayne very strong against that particular style of play because she can knock you back, she can do true damage to you as you charge toward her, and hopefully can burst you down, as it were. And Caitlyn coming in as the answer to Vayne.
My next most played champion this season, Caitlyn.
There you go. Yeah.
Caitlyn into Vayne during the laning phase feels pretty alright, but at a certain point, Vayne just kind of takes over. You can't really duel 1v1 unless you're just straight up ahead as Caitlyn.
Exactly.
So it'll be kind of interesting there, but they do have the advantage of having this big front line. If you use your traps properly, and you have this nice front line, LeBlanc maybe blows up Vayne for you, it's a good pick.
Yeah, definitely. And Kennen, an interesting pick coming in. Looks from their team composition so far, it looks like it probably is heading towards the top lane.
Yeah, so it looks like it will be a mid lane. Nocturne did mention that as potentially a flex pick, and mid lane Nocturne is actually so scary because that ultimate is just like you get to 6 sooner, you get more items on you sooner. You are more of a carry than the jungle Nocturne, because you don't have to buy the jungle item, which is great for you. So you can kind of get to that point. You get to that one item Nocturne, you're at level 6, and you can kind of go anywhere you want. And it's terrifying. It's terrifying for a Zyra, which is like an interesting lock-in after you already see that there is a Nocturne in this game. Zyra, my most played support.
Zyra, definitely my most played support too.
Yeah,
so internet high five on playing Zyra, and definitely a good one to pick up. Fits into almost any comp in general, and really strong in lane. I do like the Zyra in a vacuum between these two bot lanes. I like it against Lulu and Vayne, but as you say, very vulnerable to something like a Nocturne. And someone else who's pretty vulnerable to Nocturne actually is Leblanc. It's not a good lane matchup as far as I can tell. He really does oppress those sort of squishier mages. With his ability to do a lot of damage and use a spell shield.
And surprisingly good amount of poke.
Yes, indeed. Yeah,
That's something you don't think about when you think about Nocturne. It's like, and it's not the best poke in the world, but it's like surprising if you don't play against it. So it is an interesting lane. I think Nocturne's an interesting laner. It's like it is still kind of in that tier B. Like it is kind of a situational pick. It's not like there's a reason we don't see pros play it. But like I said, kind of at this level where you can kind of you can kind of get away with things a little bit more. You can get
harder
to
to play around for these players.
Yeah, it is definitely hard to play around, and obviously just that ultimate just gets you real scared. So a little more in the bot lane. Apologies to everyone else who's like, you guys talk about bot lane all the time. We're both bot lane players, clearly. Sure we know the most, but the actual laning phase does favor the Caitlyn and Zyra. They got tons of poke here. Vayne and Lulu aren't going to be able to handle that. But like you said earlier, that level 6 could be very, very interesting if they're in a situation where Caitlyn and Zyra can kind of get caught out a little bit. But that Zyra ultimate hitting at level 6 too can kind of negate a little bit of that. So that once you hit level 6, it's kind of a skill matchup. But the actual early laning phase should favor Caitlyn and Zyra. You could expect them to push in quite a bit, especially since Trundle is mostly going to be farming, and you're not necessarily worried about early ganks from the Trundle.
No, not that effective. And hopefully they can find a way to leverage that. We did see Caution play Caitlyn earlier in the week, or early in the season, I should say. So last week, and it was effective. He's good. He's good on it. He's able to make things happen. Able to position really well. It's something I've been impressed with Caution. And the jungle matchup, I do like the Trundle pick into this team. I like him a lot against the Zac and Volibear. That's a really effective pick, being able to steal those stats, especially against Volibear, who wants to charge in and not take any damage. If Trundle ults him, he's taking damage. So I like that. I like this team composition here from XYZ. It's interesting what they're going to do with the Kennen.
The laning phase
I haven't
for
seen it in a little while.
Yeah, the laning phase for Kennen should be pretty good into the Volibear. It's going to be pretty hard for Volibear to CS a whole lot. Kennen in general is always that someone's playing a tank. Yeah, Kennen, solid counter.
Yeah, exactly. You can get away easily. You can poke them down. And we'll see how it does in the later stage of the game. Obviously, that ultimate, very, very powerful. And
then a Lulu ulted Kennen if Vayne's not around. would be your normal choice. But like Kennen jumps in, ults, Lulu ults Kennen, like you're gonna get blown up if you're not well ahead of that Kennen. So
yeah, and there's so many targets here for the Lulu. The Nocturne as well, so effective with the Lulu ult. If he can dive in with that ultimate, he can get right into the back line, get Lulu ulted, and that's a huge. So like we can clearly see sort of the goal for XYZ in this situation. They want to go in. They want to get to their mid game, get a couple of items, and then just like charge in as 5 front to back, just like, you know, destroy the back line really quickly of Flawless Virtue, and we'll see if they can execute it. They've been really strong so far, and we are about to load into the game here.
Yeah, and the other half of it too is that like at a certain point, Ken could just split push too. Like you have you have a kind of enough from the rest of the team that they can kind of just like stack as 4, and then Kennen can split push too. So that's like you get a lot of versatility with that champion in the top lane. I've always been kind of a fan of it in situations when you're like this, like specifically what you're playing against. So.
Yes, exactly. And XYZ has done a nice job so far of drafting. I've been liking their drafts already. I like that they've got a game plan and they are executing it. It's something we're always looking for in these leagues. Is you know, being able to okay, you do well in solo queue, you've gotten up to diamond or whatever, but can you play as a team? As we do see a pause coming through. We just had a player disconnect, so hopefully we can get that through. But this is something we've been talking about with the amateur league as well, where those players are, you know, they're even lower ranked, they're even less mechanically skilled in a lot of cases than these players, but the teams that are able to, you know, have team synergy and have a very clear game plan and be able to sort of work together towards a goal, those are the teams that can win even against slightly better players.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of the whole thing. One thing I'll talk about, like I'm gold, so like I'm by no means complete expert on League of Legends, but the one thing that I've kind of noticed, like I have diamond friends and I have masters friends and stuff too, and the one thing I kind of noticed that like even like mechanically between platinum and diamond, or even into masters, mechanically there actually isn't even that much of a difference depending on the champion, but it's really just decision making that gets better as you get to a higher level. And that's one thing I notice whenever I'm casting. I'm like, in my brain I always think, what would I do next to this? And then the higher level teams show me, hey, this is what they do. I'm like, oh, that's a way better choice than I would have made. That's why I'm my rank. It all makes sense.
Exactly.
So yeah, and I have full vision.
You know everything that's happening. I know, and I really like to see that. And even if you do feel like, you know, I know what decision I would make. What's really cool about these players as they get higher is in ranks is like they are already on their way. You're like, okay, this is what I think would be good, and he's already started doing that thing. You know, he's already started heading towards that choke point or that objective. I heard it put in a really good way some time ago, which is the more things you can pay attention to at a time, the better you are at League of Legends. Yeah, and I think that's a really sort of apt way to put that, as we do see bottom lane starts, or bot side starts for both junglers here, and both will leash. And yeah, well, like we said, we want to keep an eye on that Caitlyn, Zyra, see if they can push, see if they can get you know, some of those roots down. And if you get a root on Zyra and then a trap onto that rooted target, you can burst a lot of damage with this lane.
Yeah, and like I was saying, like in general, you're saying like this should be an oppressive lane during the early phase for Flawless Virtue. But there's one X factor. Again, navcast plays so much Lulu. Lulu is actually a lane bully. You don't necessarily see that out of all the enchanters, but Lulu's actually a lane bully, and I'm sure navcast has played this matchup, just played this champion so much that you could potentially do it. So we're going to be interested in that. Meanwhile, we do have a 1v1 going on over here. And look, I was just talking about them fighting as well. Moves like Jag's going to flash out. Captain Snarfles will flash to follow up. Moves like Jag is one hit away from popping that passive. He's going to go down. Tigerclown is here to help. Unknown Legend is going to try to save him. But what can you possibly do? Apocalyptical has made their way over here. The Ignite comes through. Snarfles does go down, so at least it's a 1-for-1. But First Blood does go over to Team XYZ.
Yeah, not feeling good at all as the Zac. You know that Trundle's able to 1v1 you, so you really got to be careful. And Captain Snarfle's very aware of the ins and outs of this matchup, but I really like the roam from Apocalyptical. Able to sort of make the best of that situation, and an early kill on LeBlanc, always a good thing. You know, if he's able to start roaming, able to start matching. Ooh, yeah, nice root on both members there. As you said, Lulu definitely able to do some damage. Oh, double buffs as well on Apocalyptical, which is awesome for him. And yeah, Lulu able to do some damage, potentially even able to out damage the Zyra early on, before, you know, Zyra's really able to get all those plants going with his spells. But we do see Tigerclown, the sub,
what I was talking about.
coming in.
He's gonna feel so bad.
Oh, yeah, and you can see he's got the wave in such a good position, making Unknown Legend lose so much farm already just from getting that huge minion wave, and that's because Unknown Legend had to go and try to help his jungler, and did get an assist for it, but you know, if your wave gets into such a terrible position, and so it's sort of, you know, trying to choose the lesser of two evils. In that situation, he's at 8 CS while the Kennen on 20 CS, so you're already seeing the difference in that lane.
Yep. Drive by from Cpt Snarfles over towards the mid lane. So, positives, of course, for Flawless Virtue. They do have the 1-0 right now, LeBlanc, and tons of damage being put onto the Cpt right there.
That red buff is brutal.
Yeah, just double buffs over on the mid laner. Probably Cpt goes, oh, okay, cool, guys.
Yeah, cool. So I'm not allowed to play this laning phase right now. Okay.
But still ahead in CS right now. So
yes, indeed, very clearly this Cpt is able to farm. Yeah, and you see that from, you know, these players who are able to reach those diamond ranks. You can kind of get the CS you need in almost any situation, and that's what Cpt is able to do. He has picked up that serrated Dirk, and so he has got some kill pressure now. That is a very, very strong item at 5 minutes into the game. And,
yeah, and that's
we'll
that's like one of the big things to note if you end up playing mid lane, is that like things can get like, yeah, you see a LeBlanc with double buffs on the other side. It's easy to kind of get tilted about that, but some of the best mid laners can kind of absorb that pressure. One of the famous mid laners for that is Froggen. That's why Froggen's still relevant in this day and age. Is like, sure, yeah, Froggen doesn't do anything super flashy that kills everybody, but it always feels like no matter what you do with Froggen, Froggen's got a relevant amount of CS and is irrelevant in the game. That's why on a terrible Dignitas team, still top 10 in MVP voting. Like, like insanity. So like, and that's what you're kind of seeing over here with Cpt. Like, yeah, you're facing a double buff, Apocalyptical, but you know, you're still ahead in CS, and on the reset they come back, and yeah, you're ahead of this right now still, and you're well on your way to that level 6 point I was talking about. That's gonna get pretty scary.
Yeah, and that's all he's looking for, is just reach level 6, get this lane pushed in. Obviously, another advantage of Nocturne, really able to outpush this LeBlanc. So they did pick that. Clearly, Apocalyptical comfortable on it, but they are going to. There is going to be lane priority, but a huge engage here.
Well, just talking a lot about you handling Apocalyptical and 1v1 kill happens over there. Great job now, 2-0. Gank, meanwhile, is happening towards the bottom lane. Caution trying to back up here, but counter gank as moves like Jag was there the entire time. Surprise! Trying to jump at them, and now navcast is just trying to get away, but he's going to get trapped up. The flash is going to have to get out of there, and nice little counter gank to at least protect his bot lane, while Zyra's going to take a little bit of free damage there.
Yeah, the patience and moves like Jag, but LeBlanc coming in here. Yeah. Maybe thinks better of it. They're gonna maybe approach that dragon instead. But yeah, the patience of moves like Jag, sitting in that bush for quite some time. We saw him a while back there already, having positioned himself, and he was waiting. He tracked Cpt Snarfles' position really well, and so they are able to get that counter gank. Not able to get a kill out of it, unfortunately. So so that's too bad. You really want to look for that, especially if Cpt Snarfles gets that far in.
Yeah,
but
honestly, if you're the bot lane right now, you're pretty happy moves like Jag did that, because last thing you want is Vayne to snowball.
Yes, exactly.
Right now, you're actually still behind in the game because of the CS differences, notably in the top lane. But you do have this big mid laner right now who, look at that, half health capped right now, and that is very, very good for you, especially after that first game.
Yeah, we're definitely looking for Apocalyptical to take this game on his shoulders and be able to roam into those other lanes. But as you say, the CS lead keeps growing for Nocturne, and has reset level 7, has got the Caulfield's Warhammer as well as the Serrated Dirk now, probably, I would say, most likely working towards a Dusk Blade or Ghost Blade. And either one of those completed items will be a huge power spike and will basically allow him to almost one-shot one of these squishy targets. So since he has that CS lead, he's still able to push in. Leblanc has got an uphill battle, even with her lead.
Interesting by the call being bought by the Caitlyn. I can't remember if that was at the very beginning of the game.
No, it was Doran's blade at first.
It
so
was
yeah,
just
the
Doran's
call
blade.
is a second purchase here.
I could have done the math and noticed that CS didn't equal how much.
yeah,
but anyway,
that's fair.
Next
time.
Yeah, it is kind of an interesting buy if you're trying to make sure you're pretty sure this game is going to go late.
Yes.
So I'm not a fan of it, but I'll leave it at it's interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Unknown Legend here getting a little bit caught out here, going to try to run away. Does have the Blast Cone available. Is just going to use Flash, but the Blast Cone does jump Captain Snarfles back right at them. It's now a 3v3 kind of going on in the jungle, but everyone's going to kind of back up, I would believe, unless moves like Jag wants to try to make a play here. They are fighting for this red buff. They're both just kind of standing in their
standing on their own control wards.
That's so funny.
They can't see me. I'm on a control ward. So yeah, we do have a 3v2 potentially veering here.
Apocalyptical jumping now. Gonna get down. Tigerclown to half health. Moves like Jag's gonna jump into the middle of the fight and take as much damage as possible. The ult does come through for Tigerclown. Will pick up one kill, but eventually will go down themselves. Unknown Legend will pick up that kill as Kept is now in danger. Gonna flash out, but Captain Snarfles and Unknown Legend are left here to fight 1v1, but they will just run away from each other. And just kidding, here comes Kept right back into the fight. Gonna be able to pick up that one, and it ends up being a 2-for-1 to tie up the kills, now 3-all.
Good try by Unknown Legend. As I was about to analyze the fight,
Vayne getting up here. That Zyra's not 6 yet, did not have the ultimate to save themselves, so LE will pick up that kill. Caution will just have to flash to get away, and yeah, we were talking about once this hits 6, that happens, and so Zyra wasn't 6 yet. So
yes, exactly. They were able to, and you can see a CS lead here. They have been somehow able to push in it on a Caitlyn Zyra lane. Definitely, you can see the mechanics coming through there. But yeah, that's just a catch out from Zyra. She flashed, and it didn't even matter. So they've got every single, not the ignite, but all the other summoner spells down from that bot lane, and still managed to get the kill and almost a 20 CS lead. So we once again are seeing LE and navcast setting up for themselves to potentially take over this game, and we're looking to Apocalyptical to try to stop the bleeding in that situation, to try to stop them from really just having their way with this game.
Yeah, they're just kind of moving on there, and again, yeah, you could see it. The kills are only 1 ahead, but that is it is 2,000 gold kind of actually ahead right now for Team XYZ. Just doing a good job of CS across the board. 31 CS only on Unknown Legend right now, 81 over on Tigerclown. So the substitution coming in and playing very, very strong.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, and like you said, that is a counter pick up there. Kennen so strong against Volibear. Kep does get stunned out here, but not much to come of that. He has completed that Dusk Blade, indeed. So he is, while Apocalyptical does have 2 kills and is relatively even in CS, still hasn't recalled to spend some of that money, and so the Nocturne now quite ahead in stats here with that Dusk Blade available.
If an all-in does kind of occur, moves like Jag is available right here, does have that ability to jump right on top. Kep's going to jump in, getting a little bit of stun. The spell, she's going to absorb some of it. Here comes moves like Jag now. Kep's going to try to get away, does eventually do so. Captain Snarfles is now joining the fight, gets moves like Jag down to about a third of their health. But he's going to do the little bouncy ball and try to get out of here. He's going to go for the re-engage. Apocalyptical is going to hit the chain. He's going to move back and jump back into the fight. Tries to finish it off, but no! Kept rejoins the fight and picks up the kill. And a 2v2 battle ends up in favor of Team XYZ.
Yeah, he used that ultimate right on cooldown, and moves like Jag now in danger as well. He does manage to dash away, but it moves like Jag. You got to hit that spell. You got to get that up. You got to get that pull back on his Q there. So. LE taking a lot of damage here. He's going to get knocked up. No, he flashes away. And is the ultimate coming through? This is going to kill him.
Go. Goodbye.
Yep.
And that's the good part of this Caitlyn Zyra lane. Like, you're going to be able to do that when Nav's not around, because kind of the one counter to a little bit of that Zyra ult would have been the Lulu ult, but Lulu right now off, I think, warding at the time, so just not around.
Yeah, able to catch the Vayne a little bit out of position, and this is interesting. I'm not sure. You're more. I will mention that I did main bot lane for a while, but it's not my current favorite role to play. But I should ask you: is this this Lulu having heal and Vayne having exhaust? Is that something that you normally see? I would expect it to be the other way around generally.
Yeah. That's just interesting.
Yeah, I'm just not sure why.
I honestly know what I think happened. They had
What's
it
that?
in the last lane and they forgot to switch it.
Senna, Tom Kent, I'm sure you're right. Oh no, well, they are having to make the best of that. But of course, with the heal in that situation, Vayne would have survived. So
may have actually got away.
you see that. You see that coming through. That's a shame. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't,
Yeah, no, it's
talking
not
out of my-
yeah, it's not a thing. It's not a random thing.
it's not like a common
forgot
bot.
to change it from there.
Idiosyncrasy. Okay, good. So the stun comes down on Nocturne. Apocalyptical, he doesn't have the damage anymore. You see he's got that blasting wand finish, but doesn't have a full item. So somehow Kept was and Duskblade, of course, a cheaper item than that Luden's Echo. But
and the spell shield came through for Kept to absorb.
That's right.
Yep. So it was enough to, really make sure Kept didn't get really that one.
Yes, that's true. And in the item differential, as Captain Snarfles comes through, gets stunned up.
Yeah, a little bit of damage we put on Captain Snarfles here. The traps are placed kind of over here. They want to fight over for this dragon, so the traps in that position is not going to help if they're on the actual dragon portion, but it does make sure that they don't kind of enter a fight in there.
Yeah, they were hoping for Captain Snarfles to commit to that just a little bit harder and get hit by one of those traps. So that they could get that headshot damage onto him. They did do a certain amount of damage to him, which scared XYZ off of the dragon for now, but now Captain Snarfles has returned, and he has got a date with the dragon. So he's going to do that completely uncontested. It's just him and the Cloud Drake, just sitting in a tree. Yeah,
one thing I will note over on the bot lane, the hunting guys being built right now for Prudi. I actually would have started Morellonomicon against this team.
Started Morellonomicon. Okay.
I think I would have started Morellonomicon, just Vayne. Vayne heals so much. It's super annoying. But anyway, other than that, Kept is right now 1v1 with Apocalyptical, but Apocalyptical will pick that one up. The shutdown will come through, so nice 1v1 play over there. And Apocalyptical's gonna make that one happen. Meanwhile, we do have the gank coming over towards the ball. And Tigerclown is over here too. 4 bot, hit him with the camping ping. Double kill now comes through for LE as they're gonna pick up the tower as well.
Yeah, probably going to be able to get this tower. Plates are have fallen now, so that tower much easier to take down. And yeah, really nice dive once again. That is Tigerclown coming in with the flank on Kennen. Exactly what you want to see from that champion. Just get into the back line, get everybody stunned up, get so much damage, and not only that, but LE managed to get both kills in that situation. So he's got 150 gold bounty on his head already. He's going to be able to complete that Blade of the Ruined King. And that is just so powerful for that Vayne to have that item this early on and to get those 2 kills.
Yeah, exactly. So that Blade of the Ruined King, like we were saying a little bit earlier, kind of a point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
Is that you duel so well and you're going to heal so much off of that. I know like everyone's kind of Leandri's Torment is just kind of the generally accepted by most of the community as the better item between that and Morello. But I honestly think it's closer than people think in general, and that it's more situational. And I think you end up building both on Zyra, and it's just a choice of
I totally agree.
Which one you build first. Oblivion Orb on its own is actually just better than the Haunting guys. And then once you kind of build that Morello, you're a support, so you're kind of there to make sure that they can take more damage from other people.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Apocalyptical has to use some spells to get away from that, but gonna do just fine with that. And we did see Apocalyptical, even without a completed item, able to 1v1 the Nocturne back a few minutes ago, and so that is definitely a very important thing for Flawless Virtue to acknowledge, is that yes, we've got this Leblanc. We might have to take some risky plays, but we have to trust that Leblanc has got this damage to be able to take down those high priority targets. As Ellie takes a tower shot here, and yeah, so we will see a little bit of a journey towards the Rift Herald here, a little bit of a scouting mission, and Captain Snarfles able to turn back all 4 of them by himself, and they realize, hang on, it's just one troll. But,
they're trying to fight over that. And here I was saying earlier during Champ Select how the potential of Tigerclown to just split push, and that's what's happening. That ball lane's being pushed over now. You're going to be able to get Rift Herald for it, but you're losing 2 towers for it, which isn't the greatest trade in the world.
Yep, I would not take that because you don't even guarantee 1 tower from the Rift Herald. Yeah, it's the whole thing it's for. They are going to get it though. Captain Snarfles zoned out very nicely by those Zyra. Oh, hang on.
Okay, all right. Look,
no, he got it. He got
for a moment.
It was close there. Yeah, he flashed in for it. So that
and I was like, oh, it's good.
The flash by Captain Snarfles expended for nothing, so they are going to move now towards this top tower where Unknown Legend now sits alone, although his team is posturing to help him out here. Will they be able to get some sort of engage?
That's the one, but not very tanky right now. At least to be able to take that one out. Navcast, meanwhile, is dealing with Apocalyptical, trying to ult themselves to just be able to get away from Apocalyptical, but will not happen. Meanwhile, Zyra's going to use the ultimate to pick up kill on Captain Snarfles, so this is a nice job. 2 for 1 so far in favor of Flawless Virtue. Ellie's now going to get it away. So good little fight, good little engage put together by Flawless Virtue, and this is, if it wasn't obvious, this is clearly a better game than the first one.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely some signs of life here from Flawless Virtue. I like that. That was good target focus there. The Leblanc did have to split off to take down. Oh, as the Nocturne ultimate.
What we were wanting to see, the Wombo combo comes through.
Oh my god!
Has picked up a double kill, looking for a third. It will go to LE instead. So 3 for 0 in that exchange, and that is exactly what nightmares are made of.
Oh man, that is just exactly what you said. That is Nocturne personified there, as Caution just disappeared. He just disappeared. It was like he went to another dimension instantly. I didn't see any position of his health bar besides full and 0.
Yeah.
And yeah,
so I was saying how this is a closer game, but they're still behind.
Oh man, yeah, that is some crazy damage right there from a combination of Tigerclown and Kept with that counter engage, as they knew a lot of cooldowns had been used by Flawless Virtue. And so the dragon about to spawn, and everybody's alive right now. They are approaching it. It's Infernal Drake here, second dragon of the game. And we see a little meeting of the mines in the river, and we will see if anything comes of that. Prudi clearing out a ward here.
I'm actually mildly surprised that Team XYZ even care about this dragon right now.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
A single Infernal Drake isn't that valuable. I know, like, yeah, you're ahead in dragons, and maybe you don't need the dragon win condition. I think if you just kind of like left Tigerclown to be pushing top right now, you'd be trading this dragon for another tower, and you take that, especially while you're so far ahead right now. So
yeah, like you say, the Vayne really is your win condition.
But you might just win this fight anyway. So
yeah, they are going for it, and Nocturne comes down.
Nocturne does get stuck in a trap though. The Tigerclown, so he's not able to jump too far into the middle. Everyone only gets the ult on Zyra. Does take them out though. However, shutdown does come through, and the Ocean Dragon does end up going to one member, where the fight continues on. And right now, everyone on Flawless Virtue is being taken out. Quadra kill comes through, and the ace. And well, I said maybe they didn't have to fight for it, but they got the ace. So
it turns out to be the right call.
You know, earlier when I was like, I would do this, and they sometimes prove me wrong. They proved me wrong. They just got it didn't matter.
they knew what the potential was here. They successfully baited Flawless Virtue into thinking they had the opportunity to take the dragon, knowing that they had such power that they could guarantee a team fight win. And yeah, like you say, that team fight with the ace, now getting the Baron, definitely more valuable than it would have been to split push with the Kennen, as we suggested might be a good idea. So I'm very impressed with XYZ. They knew exactly what they needed to do there and what exactly they could do.
Is I think Flawless Virtue played that relatively well. I'd have to rewatch it, like, frame by frame almost. But I thought, Zyra did a good job of, like, the support kind of zoning off the top laner a little bit. I felt like that is actually a good place so the rest of the team could actually end up kind of fighting for that. You did see Unknown Legend did pick the kill on the Kept during that time. And it was relatively well played by Flawless Virtue, but again, Team XYZ just maybe you know, at the time 5-1, now 9-1 Vayne is just a very good AD carry to have.
Yeah, we said target selection was good in that last fight, and in this case, it's good that they took down Kept, got the shutdown gold onto that Volibear, but at this point, if you don't kill LE, you don't win the fight. That's it. That's the long and the short of it. So maybe they're going to have to just look at their target selection and make sure... Oh, is the Zyra totally stuck against the tower there? As Apocalyptical comes in, a little bit of damage onto navcast, but yeah, you got to take out the Vayne. It's now 9-1. Blade of the Ruined King, Gwinsu's Rage Blade, and Hexdrinker completed already, along with those boots. So Unknown Legend gonna try to go in on Kept. Flash is in.
It does have teammates here to help as well, so they're gonna try to take down Kept. And Kept, who was 8-0 last game, is the one person who's kind of being, excuse me as I hiccup, getting taken down a little bit here. So they get that, but they do lose another turret in the mid lane, and they're
potentially too. This turret's very low as well, and they're going to be able to use this Baron buff, and it is the Baron buff, of course, allowing them to push that hard. But yeah, it's just hard to say. I mean, you see somebody get caught out, you got to do something, right? You've got to try to make a move, but giving up so many resources and objectives already just to get one kill here and there is not going to pay off in the end for Flawless Virtue. So they did blow the flash. No, they blew the flash from Volibear, I should say. A lot of damage goes down onto Prudi, but they will still back off.
Yeah, kind of just runs up there, takes a little bit of damage, goes. Yeah,
got a one shot.
Meanwhile, trying to go for the one combo, not to be able to take him out. We do see Tigerclown has now officially hit the Flame Horizon over Unknown Legend. That milestone.
That might be the first one of our season. Flame Horizon award. Flame Horizon achievement goes to Tigerclown, the sub for XYZ. And yeah.
Yeah, where's that? What did they call them? Achievement thing in League. What are they called again? Where's that?
Oh,
one? Anyway.
I didn't buy that, so I don't know.
yeah. Eternals? Yeah.
Eternals, I think you're right.
That shows how much I care about them. Immortals? Whatever.
Can't be Immortals,
shows how much I care about them. But anyway, moves like that, he's trying to do something over here, trying to get on top of that 80 carry, but you know, Vayne just kind of tumbles away and is able to do a lot more damage than you can do to them. At least going to be able to pick up that one, go legendary. Captain's now joined this fight as well, and he's going to kill one more. Zyra now going to get that one down. Double kill does come through for LE. Snarfles picks up one more. Only the Leblanc is left, and they're just hanging out by the towers. Oh, never mind. Does jump in, at least gets one. Apocalyptical says, well, I'm just going to get a kill. Whatever.
Raise my KDA a little bit, but this is going to be the game. The death timers are too long. The base is in shambles, and XYZ once again dominating. A little bit of fight shown this time from Flawless Virtue, but the superior jungling of Captain Snarfles, the lane dominance of that bot lane really coming through, and in the end, Flawless Virtue just was not able to accomplish much of anything against XYZ. 2-0 sweep in this series.